So in the previous video, we looked at the marks generation, and we saw how we can be able to generate marks, right? So if you refresh here, this if you've already selected this one will disappear. So we show you how you can generate the marks, and we demonstrated how the teacher can log in to submit their respective marks, etc. So if the teacher doesn't have access to a certain subject, they cannot be able to even access it here in filters, and they cannot be able to submit the marks of those subjects. So I generated the marks from the other side. So I have two browsers opened. One is for the administrator, and another browser is for the teacher. All right, just for testing purposes. You can see that this teacher, even though they can access the marks, they can be able to see the marks, but they don't have a place where they can submit the marks from. It's just a class, stream, subject, student, and then remarks. But I don't have a section where I can give, for example, the mid of term marks, something like that. So why is that possible? Because it's the administrator who controls that. It is the administrator who will say that today, teachers should submit the marks of mid of term. Today, submission of mid of term marks has ended, so I don't want teachers to submit anymore the marks of mid of term. So it is an administrator or director of studies who does that setting. So whatever he sets, it's what the teacher will be seeing on the other side. All right, so we've understood that. And now we proceed. I'll come back to the administrators section, and I go back to the the marks submission. All right, I'll come here to the marks submission, or is it examination, and then I come back here to the report card generation. So the report card generation is the one that will be setting everything, that what someone should be able to see, what teachers should be able to do for that particular term. So if I'm a director of studies, I come to marks. For me, I can be able to see everything. I don't even to must first filter in order to see things. I'm able to see everything. Now, let's say that I need to allow teachers to enter the mid of term marks. All right. So how do you do that? I'll just simply come to our record here. I make sure that I've finished generating as how we demonstrated in the previous video. I just simply come here and edit it here. So after editing it, I can go ahead and so this is the section of marks generation. So we finished it. So I come here to the section of displaying. All right. So I can go ahead and say the system should be able to display mid of term marks to teachers. So if I want the teachers to even see the beginning of term marks, I can just simply come and set one to be a yes, so the teacher can be able to see it. So I can set the rest to be no, so the teachers can be able to focus on the marks that they're submitting. So I can say let the teachers only submit mid of term marks. So I just simply, only access the mid of term marks. So I just simply come here to display mid-term examination, mid-term marks. I go ahead and set it to be yes. I can say display marks to teach, display end of marks. This is for end of marks. Display middle marks to others. For example, if I want to display this mid mark to others, let's say like other stakeholders like parents, etc., you can set it from here. So if I set to others, so I mean that parents can also be able to access, just to display or access the midterm exams, marks, if they log in into the system. So this is a place where you display. So if I want to say maybe display to teachers and others, so midterm exams. So if I go ahead and submit, now the teachers should be able to access midterm exams, just accessing them. So if I come and submit and set that one, and then come and refresh here, and I click on marks and refresh, so you can see that this teacher has now access to mid-term marks. All right, this teacher has access to mid-term marks. So after saying that they have access to mid-term marks, I can as well, let's say they were finished collecting marks of mid-term. As a director of studies, I can come and say the teacher should not see the marks of mid-term, and then I set back to no. Then they'll not be able to see those marks. Now, after setting what the teacher should be able to access, I can set them if the system should allow them to submit. All right. So I can say here, can teachers submit? So I can set here. So I first make them to display. I first display them so they can access, and then I go ahead and then give them a permission to submit. Remember, we are editing the timely report card of this particular term, as I showed you. So I can go ahead and say enable submission. So if I say teachers can submit marks, then it means that teachers can be able to do what? To submit marks. So if I submit here, and come back and refresh here, the teachers will be able to do what? To submit marks for this term. So that is how teachers submit marks for a certain term. So now, okay, that's how they get access to submit marks, right? After specifying what they want to submit, then they can go ahead and get access. So now, how do teachers actually submit marks, all right? How do they submit marks? So first of all, the system shows you the term, the class, and then the stream and the subject. So this one can help you to know which student you're working on and which particular marks you're working on. And then I show you the student and the respective name. I show you the name of the student, and then I show you the mid of term score if they have allowed me to access the mid of term of score as a teacher. And then the remarks section. Then you have mid of term status. I can be able to see if the marks has been submitted or not. Now the question is, how do you submit marks? So to submit marks, you have to come and access the marks and then set the filters I demonstrated to you here. Set the field of mark that you want to submit. If you want to concentrate on a student by student, you can be able to specify here student. Alright, but it's recommended to concentrate on subject by subject. Then go ahead and start entering the marks. So I can, to enter the marks, we just simply click on the marks, remove, if there is a 0, remove it and put the mark. For example, this one I can say maybe 70, and then I click on this, or I press enter to save the mark. So the mark will be saved without refreshing the whole page. Just simply click there and press enter to save. So it is as simple as that. You just simply press enter and just click. It will not refresh even the entire page. Just simply enter the mark and press enter. Enter the mark and press enter. Enter the mark and press enter. So that's how you enter the mark. So you look at the name of the student, press the mark and press enter 80, like that. So if I go ahead and save, the system will go ahead and do for me the whole thing in background. So there I'm submitting the marks. All right. So if I put the mark that is beyond the maximum mark, it will not do what? It will not allow me. So I can go ahead and put the marks. So that's how you submit anyway. That's how we submit the marks. I'll leave it there for you. All right. So now, how do you see the marks that have been submitted? So if you refresh here, the system will be able to show you the marks that have been submitted and those that have not been submitted, like this. So I'll show you more controls. If you want to, I'll show you more controls. If you want to do what? If you want to say you want to see the marks that have not been submitted, you just simply come here on this icon, click on it, and then say I see not submitted marks, and then say search. So the system will go ahead and show me the marks that have not been submitted. Yes, if I want if I want to focus on those ones. So if I want to see the marks that have been submitted, I just simply say submitted, and then the system will show me the marks that have been submitted. So that is the filter that you access from here. Now, if you want to see the best performer, just simply click here on this icon to sort them in ascending. In descending, if I want to see the worst performer, click on this icon to sort them in descending order. Now, sometimes you might be using a mobile phone and the information is too much for you. For example, let's say you're using a mobile phone like this. You see, this is my phone, and maybe the information is too much for you. Let me, for example, put here Samsung Galaxy S8. That's how it looks like on the on the mobile phone. So what if you want to use a mobile phone and the information is too much? So how do you reduce on the content. For example, so after you've run your filters, the next thing you can reduce on what the system should display. So to reduce on those columns, as I showed you in the introduction video, can say click here and then reduce. I can remove term, can remove, so you just select them from here. I can say I don't want to see term, I don't want to see classes, I only want to see the name of a student. I don't want to see the subject because I already set the subject. I want to see the name of student and the mark, so I can reset the rest. I can remove all the rest and say submit. So by doing so, the system will keep our filter, which is there, that is very clear, and then it will show me the name of a student, their respective mark, the name of a student, their respective mark. This one can help me to focus, and it can give me less. After making sure that your filter is well set, you can do that, and then you will have less information. You just see the name of a student and their mark. If you want to see those ones which you have not submitted, then you have to introduce the other column back. And if everything is fine, you can reset from here to go back to where you want. So that is how you reduce on the columns. First, see all the columns, just simply click there and then come here and say all and then submit. Then the system will go ahead and show you all the columns that are relevant or that can help you to know about the marks, right? You can be able to see them from there. Okay, so that is how you do it. That is how you deal with the marks. So you can play with it. Make sure that you understand it properly. So that's how you submit the marks. So as Director of Studies, you'll be monitoring the progress of mark submission from this section. All right. If you come here to, report card generation, you can be able to see the percentage. For example, 16 marks have been submitted for mid of term, and you can see the percentage is 2%. So you can be able to know that teachers have not submitted enough and put them maybe on pressure or remind them to submit the marks. So you can be able to monitor their progress here. Every time there's a mark is submitted, the percentage will go ahead and change from here. However, as the Director of Studies account, you have access to all the marks. So I can come here to marks, and then I can be able to filter anything that I want. Maybe I want to filter the marks of this term only, of this term 2, 2023, and I want to filter the marks of primary 4, P4 here, and then I click on search. So the system can be able to filter for me those marks, and I can be able to see all of them here. And if I want to see those ones that have not been submitted, I can go ahead and say not submitted. If I want to see marks of a specific subject, you can just play with these filters and you'll see they are all making sense. So I can go ahead and submit. I want to submit. I want to submit like this. Alright, so if I want to see maybe the marks of Madeline only, you know, this Madeline is a new student, and you can see his marks are there coming properly. So if I want to see the marks of this student only, I can go ahead and filter. So if this is a demo student, I can go ahead and reset everything, all right? And then you go ahead and say filter, and then you say I want to see the marks of a specific student here. So I put the name of the student will show up, and then I say search a student. The system will bring me the marks of that student only. I can remove this filter and I search, and then I'll be able to see that this student has only 4 marks, and all of them have done what? Have been submitted. Click there. You can see that the marks have been submitted. Alright, so if I want to see for others, you can do the same as well. Yeah, so that is how we deal with the marks submission. And when you refresh, the remarks will automatically be put there. If you want to change the remarks by yourself, you can just simply put here, click there and say fair. Over. The system can take care of that when you're generating the report cards. So that is how we submit marks. I hope you've understood. In case you're facing any challenge, you can contact us and then we'll be able to do what? To help you. That's how you submit marks. And I hope I've explained it extensively. So if the Director of Studies want to collect the marks of another exam, you just simply come here to report card and then come here to edit, and then you say maybe I'm done with collecting mid of term. You just simply come and stop mid of term here, and then say maybe I want to collect end of term. So just simply say collect end of term exams. Oh, I don't want to collect any marks right now. Let teachers not have access to any mark. You just simply hide it here and put everything no, 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 and then they shall not have access to any mark. So I hope you've understood how we collect the marks. In case you have any question, please feel very free to ask us. We shall be able to answer you. All right, that's it for today. In the next session, we are going to look at now how do you generate report cards, or how do you collect the theology marks in the next session. So make sure that you don't miss. See you in the next session.